Hello, everyone. Welcome to this special episode of Expert Speaks. In this episode, we are going to present a discussion with Mr. Jatin Popat, founder and CEO of Wilgini. They have worked a lot on the strategies to transfer inheritance in a seamless way to the intended beneficiaries. While we all put a lot of efforts in working, saving, creating wealth, the required amount of efforts are not visible when it comes to question of saving that inheritance and transferring it to the intended beneficiaries. So stay till the end of the video. My conversations with Mr. Jatin Popat during our Nivesh Desh Videsh, the annual global conference of NRI Money Clinic, will be played to you here. And there are so many takeaways which you should never miss if you have an intention to smoothly transfer your inheritance. This is NRI Money Clinic for you. And I am Dr. Chandrakant Bhatt, your financial guide for a happy living.
NRI Money Clinic. No hype, just the right advice.
So basically, succession planning is something which we are going to discuss in a bit. I know the subject is very vast. First of all, for the India level, and then the respective countries where all the NRIs are sitting here. So first of all, thank you so much all the NRIs to be participant here, and we'll wait for your suggestions, questions. The NRI Money has no hype, only advice is what I think the logo. Similarly, Wilgini has similar simplified succession. So that being our motto for all the services that we cater for the NRIs and all our Indians residing in India or abroad. So focused in Indian succession mainly. We will going to discuss on the smooth and secure succession for the wealth created by the family, parents in India, and your wealth, mainly in India. So for the discussion today, we are restricting this discussion on only Indian assets. We are not talking about your assets in your local country, wherever you are there, because those are very, again, complex and detailed discussion on inheritance laws and tax side. So we will like to discuss mainly this topic on India side. So today in India succession level, the people have got connected to us in past. Either are the parents where the kids are around settled abroad. Either the parents are died and NRI kids come to us for inheritance assistance. Or the NRIs have the wealth which are created, invested in India by self name or a family name, and they want to do some secure and smooth succession of those wealth. Now, here Wilgini, we are providing two type of services. One, pre-death planning, that means succession inheritance planning for self, for parents, and post-death inheritance assistance, where we try to help all the family for claiming their inheritance with a smooth legal process and all. So we have been getting the inquiries and suggestions and leads and customers for either the planning level or the post-death level of someone is passed away from the family and the inheritance to be done. NRI being not stationed in India, they know lot many complications that they have to go through, so they come to us. Now, here we are talking on the subject where we are seeing that in India, so many parents or so many the past wealth which is lying in government today, which are unclaimed. This graph will show you that almost 2.5 crore of rupees wealth, which is almost 3 billion USD, which is lying in government. This is also without interest till date. It is just lying for many, many years. If you calculate the interest, this might go 3 or 4 times the amount which you have mentioned. Why? Because some of the family members, when passed away, they were not informed to their next legal heirs that where they have invested the money, where the money is lying. Or there could be a succession transmission issue where, say for example, NRI sitting abroad and they have family, they have wealth here and they have disregarded to claim those wealth, or they find it difficult, or there is some issues around. So these are the problems around which the monies which are with the mutual fund or a companies or those type of thing, they literally send it to the government. That's the law, and that's where it's accumulated in every year. And government is also trying to reach out. It could be insurance claim, it could be a mutual fund, it could be a shares. And this is where we want to say that the planning has to be done in a way that the parents' investment in India or any business investment being done in India, the NRI community should be aware of. And if at all something is stuck up, we can help you out, but we don't want this to go more. So the planning need to be done for the parents and for self. Secondly, there are litigations. So one of the reason for the unclaimed thing are litigation happening in India on the inheritance for the siblings which are staying in India or any other countries, and they maybe misunderstood the succession and they are trying to grab as much as thing they want, and that's where the litigations are there which are relating to inheritance matters. So more than 1 crore cases, if you say, I think in a 1 year time, that was for the inheritance. It could be for land, for bank deposit or whatever. So this is one of the reasons we want to say that we have to smoothly plan the succession in a way that all the legal heirs get their share of whatever it has been decided. So now, what is the plan for today for all of us to discuss for each of you? We are worried about the life care of the parents sitting in India, or family members, the siblings, or everybody who are very close to the family members. They will first like to see that they get proper care till the life. Many a times it is not possible for the parents or siblings to resettle into countries away from India. And sometimes the NRI kids, they are worried, but they are unable to attend to their day-to-day life or their issues when they face for medical side and all. So that is something which we have to see that planning has to be done. As we know that many countries in India, in abroad, globally they have inheritance tax or estate tax or death tax. So many taxes they levy on when somebody dies, the money left around, where government comes and they want to charge tax. Now that's sometimes very huge. It up to 80% in some of the country, 40% in many countries. So this is something which we are talking, that the assets in India, at least we can plan somewhere that those taxes can be mitigated. And that is where one of the things that we have to plan now. There is also a possibility of that, okay, you are not around, but the siblings are around here, and there could be a chances that they have some different thoughts. They don't want to share the inheritance to the people outside India, the siblings, because they will say we are taking care of parents, we don't want to give, even it is mentioned by the parents. So there could be a chances of the unnecessary dispute with the brothers, sisters, and everybody will say that, okay, how to avoid it. Also, the process of the transfer. So, say for example, after a death occur of anybody, the actual transfer of the wealth, which is happening from X to Y, it has its own lengthy process. Some of the time it requires a probate. Sometimes it goes to the regulators in a way that there are so many hassles created for the documentation and those type of things. Legal heirship certificate may be up. If there is no will, then succession certificate is asked. So these are the processes which one has to undergo, and that sometimes it is delayed or sometimes it is really taxing. Also, there are the wishes of the family that one has to complete, and these are the whole thing that we have to plan now in a way that how can we do a proper planning, that all these reasons that can be overcome, and we can straight away do something where succession is smooth and also secured. and also it is tax friendly. Now, as we mentioned that inheritance tax across the world is too much, where it is going 40% in USA, 40% UK. Now, these are the countries, for example, in USA, there are so many other complexities on various names of the tax, plus various legal status of a person, like somebody will say citizen of US, somebody will say a green card holder, somebody will say resident of US, somebody will say domiciled in US, or resident alien, non-resident alien. These are the various difficulties that the NRIs has to solve in their country for USA taxation and all. But living apart in India, I think they are not much here. But one has to see that both countries has to be balanced in a way that you get to know. For the UK, I think there is something which all the participants from the UK, please note that I think UK has come out with a new regulation which is enforceable from the 6th of April coming this year, 6th of April 2025. So according to this, in whatever we have read through, that in 31st October budget, they have said that in past the non-domicile concept of 15 years, I think they are cancelling this, and they are now making a residence concept where the people, if staying more than 90 days, they will be treated as resident. And if they stay for 4 years, then they will have to pay the inheritance tax all over the world. Earlier it was not there. So the new regulation is coming up, which is very stringent on the inheritance law for the people who are staying in the UK. One has to please look at it. I am suggesting that you can go through those things which is introduced. If you want to take some action, maybe before 6th of April, you have still time for 1 month. You can try that out. Similarly, other countries like Europe is the maximum where the inheritance tax are continuously being there in a large number. So, see, in India, if we do a succession planning, normally, since India is evolving, like in other countries, it has been evolved for 30-40 years. Every country has got the succession and inheritance in there for 30-40 years, where trust, wills, everything is there. India, it has been little, we are late, and somewhere we want to now buck up for those delays, for understanding the succession and the laws and what to do, what not to do. So, one is the will writing. That's a very normal thing which is happening all across the world, which is a very basic thing that one has to think that they should write a will, their parents should write a will. Parents means I'm saying both mother and father, because they both must be holding assets in single name or joint name. Similarly, the NRIs who have spouse, and they must be holding assets in single name, joint name from both the parent side. Okay, so they have to see that at least basic will is in place for all of you in India for the Indian assets. Secondly, the family trust is something where we are suggesting, like a will is a basic document. The family trust is an advanced version. Like 2G, 3G was there, the 5G has come. Similarly, the family trust is something where one can say it's an advanced version of the succession and inheritance planning, where it is very much in sync with the thoughts of the secure and smooth succession. So, having said that, we will discuss on this topic also in detail in a couple of minutes. So many times there are assets which can be immediately gifted to the legal heirs to avoid those the process of the inheritance or the trust. People are giving gifts to the family member with a very basic some stamp duty and all, but also that also is passing through the assets directly to the legal heirs or the kids. Power of attorney, as you see that in life we don't know, the problems comes in the medical issues or any emergency where family members are bedridden for long period. So those are the situation where I think advanced stage the senior citizens, they are nowadays preparing a power of attorney each other, so that can be taken care of actions relating to investments or any property when the spouse can manage those no things when somebody is not unwell. So these are the very basic thing that we are suggesting now for you to understand, you to plan accordingly, and if need based, you can take actions for your asset in India and also assets of your parents in India or your in-laws. So Indian laws, when we say, when we do our planning, these are the three things that we normally do. The succession laws of wills and trusts. So what are the succession laws which applies to Hindus, which are for Christian, Parsis, the Muslims? These are the succession related laws that is applies to all the Indian assets, and where one has to understand well, and either they create a wills or trust, and they should know how best somebody can do it very smoothly, and there is no challenges coming up from any of the family member. So Indian succession law is something which is to be understood well by when you do the succession planning for self and parents. The FEMA law, because you being an NRI community here, all the NRIs, we want to say that there are laws applicable in India for the NRIs where the control and the beneficiary and the settler. So those are the things that one can look at for the inheritance. Like for example, if parents have made a will and they have left behind wealth, and that is to be passed on to you in your country. Currently, FEMA says that if parents have no more, the wealth can be transferred to the legal heirs outside India, $1 million a year. So that's a regulation and restriction on the FEMA right now. Till the time fully convertibility will come for the capital matter, this is a restriction. Say for example, a 50 crore of wealth is left behind. So every year one can send 8-9 crore as per the foreign exchange rates. So that is where it is there, one has to understand. Or else, how otherwise it can be during their lifetime, one can plan something gift or maybe a family trust. So that is something one has to understand. Even in family trust, the restrictions are there for a trusteeship or keeping a control on those trusts. So those are the minor thing that one has to understand when they do a planning. The tax laws, so tax pertaining to the wealth which is in India, which is earning some money, and every year one is, somebody is paying a tax on that. Secondly, inheritance. So the two type of tax we are talking on this Indian wealth. One is inheritance. So in India, since 1985, the inheritance tax is abolished. So today, there is no tax in India, one thing. There are talks around, we hear from the media report and the market that last few years, couple of years, there are talks that India might bring in inheritance tax, which was abolished in 1985. So there is a chances that India might come back with the inheritance tax law again, for which some people have started planning, and they have successfully set up their trust and all, so that those risk on the inheritance tax in India can be mitigated. So that is a thing. Plus, whenever you have regular income in a tax in a trust, if you transfer, there are issues on taxation also, which one has to understand. So when we say if we do a will or a trust, these are the question one should keep in mind, that one has to discuss with your legal consultant or whoever you are doing, to check with your knowledge, at least understand from India side. Because you might be away for many years and you are not in touch with the regular things here in India. So it's better you get a clarity when you do a planning. Now we touch upon this family trust, which is, as we mentioned, that it's an advanced version other than the will. And the family trust is something, a very unique way where a person is transferring his wealth to a family trust during the lifetime, and they are keeping a control also. So what is happening? The inheritance process or the hassles can be immediately cut it out. And that is where one has to think that, yes, this is a very unique process which is allowed in India, and the property immediately get transferred. So you don't have to worry about any probate process or transfer or any litigation by the siblings or those things. And this is a very unique thing, and many NRIs that have approached us, and we have been working them regularly for this thing, not only NRIs but Indians also, because this whole thing is to have smooth and secure inheritance, where will is there, but will, if everybody accept well within the family and also the regulators where you want to transfer, then it is fine. But if there is any issue around that, then only the family trust will be the solution. So this is as per the each family needs. It could be one family trust for the family for the care of the parents and the kids, or it could be multiple trusts where there is a holding trust for the parents. There could be a baby trust. I'll just share one of the sample standard thing that we are suggesting. This trust also has a specific rules. So for example, if you are transferring out of your total wealth 75% to the trust, which is again under your control, you can mention the rules. Okay, I will manage till my lifetime, but after me, my son or daughter will be the taking in charge of this, and they will use it as per the rules for 5 years, 10 years, 50 years, whatever year you want to ensure. So here what is happening, the advantage, you are transferring the asset now only during the lifetime. It is not a gift. It is under your control for the use of self and the kids also. And there is a rules mentioned. You can drive your wealth even for many years. The example is Tata Trust, which you might know that it's a private trust which is holding so many properties and companies in India, and is going on and on. So I think it's one of the example that I want to give. Similarly, all the small families, all the business families, they are creating this type of trust, and they are very upfront for doing the planning in a successful manner. So if we compare these two things, solutions that normally people have in mind, one is a will writing versus the family trust. So will writing is a very basic thing which one can just note down what is the asset you are holding, who are your family members, and whom you want to give after you. So this is a very basic document, a declaration or a wish list. Now, after person is demised, what happens is a different thing. How the government look at it, how the family will look at it. So that is only apprehension or a worry for the will document. In the family trust, it is very secured because the wealth you already have transferred. No, it's like you already transfer your wealth in a locker, a separate locker or a company, and that is managed by you, but later on it will be managed by the family. So this is a really a very clean and safe way to do it. A will is a very single document where the husband or a wife or they jointly can make a will so that everything can be mentioned about whatever they are holding. The trust is like creating a separate entity for, like a company or a locker that you are putting a lot of asset there, and they will be managed by yourself or your family or a trust as a trustee. Will writing can happen very fast. It can be within 30 minutes to it can be 2 to 3 days time that we normally do. We just gather the information and we give you the will draft, and that is how the will is getting done. It is signed by yourself, signed by 2 witnesses. If one need registration, they can do registration in embassy attestation for the NRIs. And in India, if they come, it can be done at the sub-registrar office. So will document is a simple document which can be done very fast. The trust can take little longer, maybe 2 to 3 weeks time for explaining the purpose, explaining the structure, which are the asset you want to transfer and all. So this takes 2 to 3 weeks time for drafting a rules and all, and that's why the trust is little more detailed one, which one can understand about the taxes and about the FEMA. Will writing, yes, it can be done by the legal professional within a short time. The family trust needs a little more experienced lawyers. It could be a tax team also included, who can have exposure and experience into family trust. So this is a very basic concept of a family's will and trust. Now, what is the benefit that one can achieve from the family trust? There is no unnecessary visits that you can do. You can help your parents to create a family trust. They can become the settler. They can become the trustee. They can become the beneficiary with you and your spouse, your family, whatever. So you don't need to visit here for creating a family trust. It can mitigate a risk of Indian asset being taxed in your country. So what we are doing right now here is we are creating a trust to avoid or mitigate inheritance tax in the countries where it is there right now. That way you can secure or save some money on the tax. It is more secure plan away from the siblings. The family trust can be made for each child also. That way dedicated money is there for each of the child, and they don't have to depend, or they don't have to have conflict and all. There are so many business families, they approach us for business succession trust, which can be they are residing in India or they are doing the business from abroad. So many IT companies being run by in India by the NRIs, and those are the things that one can think of doing this properly, so that succession of business is happen in a way that the fruits continues to be given to the spouse or the kids, even if you are not there for the business. So this is a very unique thing for even business succession. It is very assured and very systematic, rule-based. The planning is done, or the rules-wise, this use of the funds. It's not that in a will, everything is given to the legal there and they use it the way they want. But in a trust, this is something where everything is used as per the rules mentioned. It is not that no one can just use it the way they want. They may lose it. But this is a trust where it will be securely kept under the trustees, and they will be giving the wealth partially to beneficiaries as per the rules. This is more of an extension of will. So whenever there is a trust, will is always necessary, because will can capture all your asset. The trust can be created for part of the asset which you want to transfer. So these are the real benefit that we wanted to convey on the family trust, and we are seeing this is being used mostly now, the HNIs and the NRIs, because of the advantages around family trust. It takes roughly around 2 to 3 weeks time for discussing with you on a one-to-one call. Then the legal team will suggest the suggestions on the what to do, not to do, and also you understand well, you discuss with the family. Thereafter, there is a draft being created as per your rule suggestions. It is shared to you. You can go through. There will be another call with the lawyers. There will be a signing of the trust deed at India level by the family, and then it's a PAN and a bank account. So this whole process takes around 2 to 3 weeks time, which is being done end to end by the legal team. We also provide such services. So the plan for NRIs, that could be, no, there is always obligation or a citizenship issues, a compliance issue for in India as well as abroad. There is always concern on the laws, on regulation on the visa side, or the inheritance tax, or a FATCA where the tax authorities are there. So these are the things that you are worried for the NRIs, that how we can overcome to those type of issues, at least for the Indian wealth. And then the parents are here, they are always have various property house, there is a company, there may be investment, mutual funds, insurance. All these things are sitting at in your country. If you want to have control or claim, I think this will be a very difficult task, and that is where one has to address is to plan in a way that all those things can be avoided. So a private family trust, in our view, is a right solution one can think of. If you need to know more, you can go through the various articles on that available on the internet. Our team can help you to explain more. If you have any question, we will be really happy to answer your questions on that. So there is a simple plan that we wanted to suggest here as a sample, which may be good for you to understand. So there is a holding trust by the parents here, where they can be completely, they can put all the wealth into the trust, or they can transfer majority of the wealth, where they are the settler, they are the trustee, and the kids are the beneficiaries, either directly kids, or they can have a baby trust for each kid. Like, one child, say in India, one child in other country, or both the kids are in other countries. So they can create a separate baby trust below the main trust, where the benefits after the parents can be directly given to each of the baby trusts, and that they can enjoy without depending on each other or with their own lifestyle, whatever the aspiration in the family. This is like no independent wealth for each child. That gives a lot of peace for the family members, because uh, all the wealth during the lifetime of the parents, it is continuously being held in the holding trust, and they can give it later on to both the baby trusts, and this is very secured. There is no inheritance hassle, or there is no they can we mitigate the taxes also. So same, these are the one of the standard thing which we normally suggest, and a lot of trust we have made on similar lines, where the assets continuously grow in India. They don't have to take it to their country. Otherwise, they will have a tax, annual tax to be paid, or there could be inheritance tax in those countries. So this is a plan where one can see that the tax friendly for the smooth grow of the wealth, because India is, as you know, everything is growing very well than the other countries. So people can keep the wealth in India. They can keep invested in various financial instrument, and they keep money here only in India. They don't have to pay taxes there in their country also. So this is a very brief and discussion on this. This is the start point. If you have question for your own family, because we see each and every family is a different profile, different wealth structure, different their internal bonding, where they come out with their own issues or challenges, and we try to see and we talk to them. So normally we have one call with each and every family, half an hour call, and then we discuss and we understand. We give them our suggestions. That's the start points that we do regularly. So these are the things that you can keep in mind. Viljini is there for last 11 years into the Indian space for succession matters. We are proud to be one of the leading players in India. We have served more than 32 country NRIs on wills and trust. More than 480 cities, people in India, they have come to us for will writing and trust. We have these partners which are large institutions. They trusted us. We are working regularly with all of them for their customers, and we are really happy for their support. So this is what I had to give my thought today for you to take it through. And please understand that succession planning is one of the planning that we normally should do. It's like planning for medical, planning for insurance, planning for tax, planning for wealth management. This is also one of the planning. In other countries, this has been done regularly. You being NRI, you know some of the developed country, people start creating the succession plan at the age of 40. India is, I think, we are lagging behind. So I think, but as an NRI, you should take a lead to at least explain these things, the problems to your family in India. It could be your parents, it could be your siblings, and that is where you can take a lead and drive it in a much better, smooth and secure succession for your parents' wealth or your wealth. Thank you so much for your time.
Dear viewers, hope the conversation I had with Mr. Jatin Popat helped you to understand the finer points around inheritance planning, what you need to be doing, what you should be very mindful of. If it helped you to understand these complex issues, please do give me a thumbs up. Our channel depends on your subscription. Many of you watch the video, forget to subscribe for the channel. Hit the subscribe button right now and press the bell icon. Do not forget to share these videos with everyone with whom you are connected with. Thank you very much for watching this episode on NRI Money Clinic. I shall be soon back with you with another expert with another topic very, very soon.
Press the bell icon for more details and subscribe our channel.